Hi everyone, Jackson here. Welcome back to the weekly endeavours for the 3rd of February. We've got a 220 seal stat, refining raw materials, completing group dungeons, and dealing damage in Battlegrounds, Cyrodiil, or Imperial City. So I know the tooltip doesn't say it here, but this is to players only. If you attack random AI enemies or NPCs in Cyrodiil, it doesn't actually count. You unfortunately can't just go to a resource or where the Gone Saints are at the shrines and just kill them for this. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. It's only to players. Now, it is good that it's Cyrodiil and Imperial Cities and Battlegrounds. It's not just Cyrodiil. That's kind of good. So, I think raw materials is definitely the fastest, but it is the most taxing on your resources. You can get this one done extremely quickly, but yeah, it'll cost you a fair bit. Group Dungeons is the slowest but the surest option, and then this one is sort of like the wild card. Battlegrounds, it's basically a guaranteed way to just, in close vicinity, get a bunch of players to attack. But the problem is, most people in Battlegrounds know what they're doing, and the death timers can last over 10 seconds sometimes. So there's just going to be a lot of windows where you're not attacking people, and obviously Battlegrounds, you queue for it, and you could be waiting quite a while. So not everyone's got that kind of time, I'd say. But 400,000 damage isn't a lot in even in PvP stands where your damage is halved. So yeah, I just think this one's okay, but you can definitely get it done much quicker using the refined raw materials. It's definitely quicker than the group dungeons, so I think, if you can get a battleground quick. Cyrodiil, on the other hand, if you use Siege and you hit a bunch of players with Siege, you can get it done very quickly. But the problem with Cyrodiil, on the other hand, is that, unlike Battlegrounds, you can't just go in and players are basically right in front of you, ready to go. You're going to have to run around like a headless chicken trying to find some players to attack with Siege or attack with your weapons. So this one, that's why I say it's a wildcard. It's unpredictable, can be done quickly, but can also be unreliable and can be quite painful doing it sometimes, especially you're not familiar with PvP. But yeah, Siege or Battlegrounds, and just basically throw your head at a wall, and eventually you'll get this one done and won't have to worry about it. But yeah, I personally would rather just do these two. Alright, so raw materials. I'll show you how quickly you can get this one done. You go to a station, you click on an item, and then you press the refine button. That's it. Now, the obvious problem with this is you have to have some resources on hand, and if you want that much rubidite ore on NA, I don't know what it would be on other places. I'd assume worse on consoles. That was about 20 grand or 20,000 gold worth of refined stuff that I just burned up there. So yeah, 20,000 gold. That's a lot. Now you don't have to use rubidite, but rubidite is still one of the cheaper of the options. You definitely want to use wood if you can, because wood tends to be the cheapest of the options. Wood here, see 12.5 gold for a piece of wood. I know you can't see anything here, but rubidite is about 40 gold per piece, so it's almost 4 times as expensive as wood. And then raw ancestor silt and rubidite are the next, but they are still very expensive. They're almost 10 times the price of wood. And then you've got jewelry scenes, which I would never use just to do this kind of endeavor under any circumstances. Particularly don't buy them. Obviously, if you just got some on hand, use it for sure, and you'll probably need to use some. But yeah, it's this stuff here. It's like 13 times as expensive as wood. So if you can find a couple of stacks of rough wood, you'll spend like nowhere near as much money. So maybe 10,000 gold worth of just wood if you're going to refine that. Now, when you do go to refine it, there's a couple of things to consider. Firstly, you want to do it on a character. I know I haven't done here, but do as I say, not as I do. Firstly, whatever you do it on, try to have this passive here, metal extraction. It's the same with all of them. Unraveling, jewelry crafting, it's jewelry extraction, and then woodworking, it's wood extraction. All these are the same. So what they do is they increase the chance of getting the upgrade materials whenever you refine stuff, so you get more chances of getting gold materials like dreg wax, which is really, really good. something you're going to want to get at some point, either for the money or to upgrade items to the best they can possibly be. So always check if you've got a character that can handle that sort of thing. And my advice is, if you haven't already, invest. If you play this game a lot and you do endeavors every day, invest in a crafter as soon as you possibly can. Crafters are so valuable if you want to play this game in the long run. There's one more thing to consider when you want to upgrade or refine resources, and that is meticulous disassembly. Also, this, if you're leveling up a character, this can really fucking boost the speed at which you do it. But yeah, meticulous disassembly does the same thing as those passives do. It's just the champion point that does the same thing. So I have seen tests on this on the forums. I haven't done any proper tests myself, but based on my experience with this passive, it does have a noticeable impact on how many gold materials you get. So I think using this is worth it, but I cannot confirm that this has a serious effect. But from what I've seen, it does give me more than when I normally don't use it. So yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, I can't give you any guarantees on that though. I don't have any proof of evidence. Alright, so just having a quick look at guild stores. Materials, woodworking, raw materials, and yeah, so you've got all this rough ribby ash here that you could use. Now, I would expect a lot of this stuff to get gobbled up very quickly as people do the weekly, but I don't know how many people are going to do this weekly. But if you want to do this weekly as fast as possible, you can do this in several minutes, just buying a couple of those for that much gold. Now, do I think this is worth it for 220 seals? Abso-fucking-lutely. If you've got the kind of gold to spare that you don't need to get these kind of seals for that short amount of time, that is so fucking worth it. So we'll go Zaram, Walmart. I usually get good results for these guys. That's not too bad. It's not amazing, but could do that. I would expect them to raise the prices of these things with this weekly up right now. But yeah, so another one that's not too bad. That's not too bad either. It's basically anything under 20 gold per unit maybe on NA. I don't know what it would be like on consoles or anything, but yeah. You'll be able to find lots of rough stuff on guild stores if you look around. And there's, this is just one. That Monhold is one of the best places to look for stuff, but I think for the convenience it's expensive. Vivek City is a good one to check. Elden Root is a good set of guild vendors to check just south of the Wayshrine. I quite like Eastmarch myself. Used to be with Blackwater back in the day. And time is money. Man, that would have been a bloody long time ago. Yeah, so every zone has a bunch of guild traders you can check, and I would advise checking every guild trader you have access to if you can't find anything worth the price. Okay, so now I'll talk about group dungeons. So Fungal Grotto is obviously the best one to do, and I'll show you what I'll do just to get through that as quick as possible. I'll do a character that doesn't cloak through everything for once. Usually I always use one of those. Now, the only other thing I would consider checking out is pledges. People do pledges pretty much consistently all the time because they're trying to get keys to unlock shoulders. If you are bored to death of doing Fungal Grotto, which is understandable, my other advice for this would be to do the pledges for the day. See if you can find a group for pledges. That's 3 group dungeons and a bunch of keys that you can get at the same time. Now, you don't have to do pledges with a group. If you're good enough, you can just, good enough. If you're competent, you can do your own pledges on your own. Just do normal ones for 1 key. It is slower. But, if you don't want to have to wait for people, you can do it on your own. Banished Cells 1 is pretty easy on normal. Because the thing is, pledges on Veteran, if you don't do hard mode, or if you don't do the special challenges related to Veteran, you get 1 key. So you might as well do normal, or you might as well do Veteran hard mode. Like, no in between. The rewards for doing anything in between is like just useless. I mean, obviously you get the monster helm from doing normal, like regular Veteran, but for the sake of keys, it's just pointless. So do normal or do Veteran hard mode. Don't do in between, I think. Pulse of Madness. You can do this duo with a companion. You can do it solo if your damage is high enough, or if you've got like a bit of if you've got like a consistent, yeah, if you've got like a decent heal. I'm pretty sure the second, because the first and second boss, they have like really tough like solo mechanics to get through. But I'm pretty sure nowadays, like, it used to be a lot worse. Nowadays, I'm pretty sure you can just get through it on normal, just okay. But very much doable with a companion, especially like get a companion with some healing abilities, and they'll basically keep you alive on the second boss, especially the harvester that fucking stuns you for like 15 seconds. Usually that's the biggest issue. The first boss you can just cheese it with enough damage to get through it. And then DLC ones, they're another story. So what have we got here? Ooh, coral area. Yeah, I wouldn't do that on my own, that's for sure. I'll do a Fungal Grotto 1.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do a Fungal Grotto 1 and then I'll do Banished Cells 1 for the pledge as well. I've got time, so let's do it. I think people have already seen a bit of Banished Cells recently with the Bestial Daedra. But yeah, Fungal Grotto 1, definitely no substitute for how quick you can do that. Because there's basically a spot where you just skip half the dungeon. Because the only thing that matters in group dungeons for the Endeavors is beating the last boss. And no dungeon can be there's no dungeon you can reach the final boss of faster than Fungal Grotto 1. It's just ridiculous. Okay, so you can fight everything normally, but I think if you just want to save time, just skip everything. Obviously, if you're doing this as a group, make sure they're okay with it, because if you just do this without fucking communicating with the group about it, it's a maximum like dickhead move. But the idea is we pull everything into the last room with the boss, and we fight everything at once, or you can just like sacrifice yourself to have them all reset and go away if you don't want to deal with both at the same time. But you can handle it usually. So I'm just running. This is just a Hunding's Rage with Spriggans build. It's like nothing special. Dragonites, I struggle with sustain if I don't use ultimates to bloody get it back all the time, so... Okay, so all the enemies are going to come in. Now I would advise killing a couple of the enemies in this room, and just the rest of the enemies will tend to just trickle in on their own. And so you clear the room first, and then just enemies will slowly come in, so it's just a bit less intense. I'll grab the boss now. Wow, that arrow just went through him. Bloody no clip. Alright. The Dawnbreaker, get out of that. The standards are put down by these guys here, the defenders. Kill them first. Don't worry about the boss until they're dead. Wow, I almost died to this guy. Alright, so the only real annoying thing this guy does is that like roar that completely stops you from doing shit. Really bloody annoying. I'll fast forward because there's nothing really to see here. Just heavy attack and roar. That's all he does, and the roar is so bloody obnoxious. My god, do DKs struggle with sustain? Need to get some better food, I think. Because I've just got... Oh yeah, come on, it's fine. Oh yeah, they're still trying to attack me. So some enemies just won't run into the room. You'll notice that with Skyreach as well. Enemies, like, they cannot figure out how to get through some doors. Right, so when you get to this creek, you just jump down here instead. Now you will pull some of the mud crabs on the way there. Don't worry, that's normal. Jump sprint through the water, I find, is a little bit quicker. And that's usually what pulls the mud crabs. If you don't jump, I'm pretty sure they don't pull. But that's fine. Let's kill these guys. You can fight the boss with them too. They die super quick. Alright. This boss is kind of similar to Old Mate from before. The heavy attack comes out quite quickly, or the animation is quite quick. But only really the explosion is annoying to deal with. Right, so at about 65%, Crag will go to one of the corners and pull out some mud crabs. Here we go. And now do the same at 30%. There we go. Almost done. Another Dawnbreaker for good luck. Pop the heavy attack. Get ready for the explosion. Oh, might have missed. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so that's one. So yeah, you just go all the way to the boss here. Kill the boss. You can skip all this stuff if you have a Nightblade and you can cloak through, or Vampirism Stage 4. Wouldn't recommend Vampirism Stage 4 though for fighting, because it destroys your sustain. And then just come through here. When you get to the river, jump down, go through, jump just to the right of the bridge, and come up here and fight the boss. Very simple. Okay, here we go. I've bought some fucking lava foot. Put that shit on. Got a lot more regen. It should be much better. Right, so probably seen this more than enough times. Know what's going on. Oh, nice. I did it. Okay. So you can just pull this group in. There'll be another group waiting here. Pull these guys too. Pull them with this group. Go into this corner, it'll just pull all the ranged enemies into the same spot. Just be prepared, because you will take a lot of damage here. Pick her up. Whoa. Go. Really should stop spamming the same fucking damage every time skill, but it worked once, so I do it. Alright, so I can just run through, get the stone switch, pull the next group of enemies. I'll see if I can pull them as well. This might be a bad idea, but fuck it, I ain't afraid. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now the ranged enemies are coming in. Okay, so now we can pull the boss. Yeah, I could have done that before, but I don't think this character is quite capable of that sort of thing. Alright, stay close to this guy. He does a big AoE that gets annoying, but if you block at the very end, that bit, that's it. That's all you need to worry about. Because if you don't, he like knocks you on the floor, and like you have to bloody break free from it all the bloody time. It's really annoying. And you have so much time to get ready for it. Like, look at that. Alright, let's fast track forward. You can hop out if you want to maintain your resources a bit. It's fine, but I just like to not care about it. One down. Let's go. Now you do have to fight these guys here to get through, so unfortunately you can't just pull a Fungal Grotto and jump half a bloody river. Okay. Alright, so pull this group as well. Most of these enemies will stand still, so might need to improvise a bit. use Caltrops to... There's not really any melee enemies, is there? Okay. Okay. Now we got the second boss. You have to fight this guy in order to progress. Now what I suggest is you come over here, because what it'll do is it'll pull all the scamps into a line, and you can sort of AoE them down. Because these scamps are going to be constantly pelting you with fire the whole time, which is kind of annoying. So getting them out of here is a good idea early on. Tab target this guy so the skeletons don't get in the way. And they will constantly explode and fucking piss you off. Like that. Stand away from him. That's it. Moving on. There's a group in here. You do not have to fight this group. It is completely pointless. So, pull this group as well. Oh, did I straight up... Oh, I ignored them. What the fuck? I don't think I've ever done that. Nobody has ever done that. No, this group... What I like to do here is also go right into the corner. And again, it pulls all the ranged enemies into one spot, essentially. Not all of them will come over to you, but most of them will. And you can also come to this corner to pull most of them. You can see they group up there. Oh, this might be dicey. Okay. Man, this character is fucking weak. Okay. And now we're up to the boss, basically. Okay, so we do have to kill this group. Again, just pull them into a little corner where all the ranged enemies have to go into the same spot. Just here. There's also that group over there. We'll try and pull them in. There we go. So, fun fact, hitting enemies causes them to all aggro. So there's like a limit of how many enemies will naturally come after you. That's why you'll see enemies sit at the back doing nothing. But if you attack them, it forces them to actually come after you. So you can group bigger groups of enemies like that. Alright, so the most annoying attack this guy's got is this like fast projectile that he sends out that will knock you over. There's also the heavy attack, but the heavy attack's not too bad. Okay, so there's this thing, there's a flame, it's not too bad. This feast thing, kill that, because... Oh yeah, that attack there, that's the fucking annoying bit. So yeah, the feast... The little clear orb, this thing, that heals him if it reaches him. This thing here. So, yeah. That attack, if it lands on you, it knocks you over. And it comes out really fast. It's hard to predict. So that's kind of the one thing you need to worry about. Especially if you do this on veteran hard mode, that attack will pretty much one-shot you. Okay, that was weird. I couldn't move. I think that attack already registered its damage on me, and it was... came out really slow for some reason. That was fucking weird. Yeah, see? That attack there, it bugs out and fucking hits me. That's so strange. Okay, I'll just kill this. Okay, so pretty much after he does his heavy attack, just block. Because he can block it, but it's like, it's very weird, that attack. It just... Basically, it stops you from doing anything and then it hits you. I can't... It's hard to explain. That there, yeah, so... Like, your character completely stops moving. It's as if you actually already get hit by it before. And it just finally registers after a little while. Great way to do the ulti endeavor without trying, I guess. Okay. That's it. Alright. Really don't think there's much else to talk about with this one. Just do Fungal or do pledges for keys. Or try your luck finding people. See how you go. So that concludes weeklies. As always, if you do have any questions for me, just let me know. I'll help you out. But for now, take care everybody. I'll see you next time, and peace out.